Hi, I'm Nico. I'm one of the co-founders of Troops, and we're aiming to bring people together on chain. We've probably all onboarded someone to Web3 through a group chat or a community. Unfortunately, we have to resort to the same old Web2 tools to bring them in. And these are all walled gardens. So they have vendor lock-in, meaning that the user doesn't own the data. And these tools are very fragmented. So at Troops, we want to make it fun for friends to collaborate natively on chain. At Troops, you can create an on-chain club where you share digital ownership with your friends. You can assign roles, tasks, and permissions, and you can perform any on-chain action as a group. So let's take a look at Fork Club. Fork Club is a group of Argentinians who love Web3, and they organize a weekly NFT collect on Zora. So they can go to the app and create a proposal to collect the NFT. And once they do it, they can share it on Lens Protocol. And the cool thing about our product is that, for example, minting on Zora might require 6 votes in this case, but posting on Lens only 1, meaning that sharing on Lens is accessible to all the, on their shared Lens account is accessible to everyone in the troop. This is all thanks to our open source community stack. It's basically a social layer on top of Safe that enables granular permissions and aggregates existing on-chain infra and tools so that people can interact together on these different protocols. Thanks to this community stack, we built a first proof of concept called Lens Clubs. We started generating a little bit of revenue with that, and it caught the attention of Lens Protocol, and they asked us to build their profile manager for it, and that's going to be live on mainnet very soon. Aside from that, in the past year, we've attended a lot of hackathons. As a team, we love going to them and testing some different community concepts that we want to test in our product in the future. And we have more than 3,000 waitlist signups at the moment. And this is us. I'm Nico on the business and strategy side. I'm a core member of 2 of the biggest and most active Web3 communities in Europe and Latin America. And Kevin, my co-founder, he's a full stack engineer who's obsessed with smart contracts, cryptography, CK snarks, and worked at Chainlink previously. And well, we're looking for support with our marketing strategy and are also currently raising our pre-seed. So if you are interested in hearing more about our vision, you can scan this QR code to send me a message on Telegram. This is my Telegram handle. And you can follow the project at Tjiam groups. Thanks all, and I'd love to hear some of your questions.
Thanks so much, Nico. That was awesome. First question, could you speak a little bit about your go-to-market strategy and specifically what sorts of communities you're trying to attract?
Yep, totally. So with a past year of experience dealing with a lot of communities, we've noticed that there's a lot of Web3 communities that don't do anything on chain. So we wanted to solve that and teach them or give them a nice experience that they can do as a group. So most of the communities we're talking to right now are these onboarding communities that they honestly they do very different stuff. Some of them are more about like investing in crypto, having a portfolio together. Some of them are more about collecting NFTs or creating NFTs together as a group. So we're but the similar thing that they all have is that they're all sort of onboarding communities. So we're going to them first, and we're also using Lens Clubs as a funnel to onboard those communities who want to do more stuff together. Well, to give you a little bit of context, Lens Clubs allows you to share a Lens Protocol account and give very granular permissions to people there. So we saw that a lot of people want to do more stuff with that. So we're expanding that vision a little bit to add more functionality.
Got it. Paul Galgil asks, how would you compare and contrast troops with something like Party App?
Um, well, so one of the characteristics of Troops is that it has a very, like, our module that we've built for on top of Safe is about granular permissions. So um, the thing that I showed before, for example, that you can give certain actions to have a higher threshold. So, for example, minting on Sora needs 6 votes, while I don't know, swapping on Uniswap up to 100 USDC can be done by anybody, and a Lens protocol post on a shared account requires the signature of someone in a specific or something like that. So it's this flexibility that allows for a lot more functionality, and we're super excited to see like what people come up with this permissions module that we've built. So I think that's the main difference, really.
Great. And a lot of the stakeholders that you mentioned earlier that you want as your first key users, they all seem to have like kind of different use cases. How do you imagine building a product that serves all of these different communities?
That's a really good question, and we had kind of the same problem with Lens Clubs, because we thought, okay, we have brands who can use it, we have artist collectives who can use it, we have just media companies that can use it, and we ended up testing all of them, and all of them caught up, and they used it in different ways. So we're focusing on giving this kind of like base experience, and well, tackling kind of like one at a time to see what sticks the most, really.
Can you give some examples of why users are using collective social media profiles like on Lens?
Yeah, I just mentioned a few. Like, for example, there's this fork club that they're just like, they love Web3 and they love exploring different things. So they embarked on this journey together to perform different actions with their shared Lens protocol account. They Because everyone has access, they can post, for example, an event, and they're distributed in Argentina, so they can post an event that's happening in Cordoba, and then everyone goes there, and that's thanks to this kind of like centralized distribution. Um, but we also have like a group of artists that like to, they're kind of shaping, I guess, their collective identity in a way with like the NFTs or like the collects that they collect as a group. So that's another one, and of course, like the classic, that's sharing a treasury or investing together, pretty much.
Right. All right. One last question. Do you imagine doing outreach to non crypto groups at all? And do you imagine those users finding any of these Web3 features particularly enticing?
We think yes, and like one of the things we're super excited about that we've been seeing is all these on-chain games that are very casual and that might be spanning like across the time. It doesn't have to be immediate. For example, base paint can be an example, or there's some other kind of like snake games that you can play together with friends, and or also even like lotteries. That's like one of the hacks that we did before, that brings people together and like engage them in different ways to fund a shared treasury, for example. So yeah, I think those are things that excite us right now.
Great. Thanks so much, Nico. That was great.